Hi there, Capricorn. Healing Grasshopper here to do your third week in July reading, the 16th to the 23rd. Oops. Jumpers onto the floor right away. The world. You see what I keep telling you guys? Those of you who are subscribers, I've been telling you about this portal for a month. But the world has shown up in many positions in the reading and the spread. And I don't quite recall it coming out as the first card, which is significant. Like it'll come out in the results spot here at the end, sometimes as the focus card, but here is saying Spirit is saying out of the gate that this is your R, because I am a Capricorn sun, for those of you who are new, so I'm in the trenches with you. Um, this is our present atmosphere. And I have been through a few portals in my life. And this is the first time in my life that I have been aware of it, which is significant. Before, it was um, especially my last portal was the harshest one. It was filled with loss, like death in my life of many people, like everyone that was closest to me, all within this 3 year period, and a bunch of other losses. I'm not going to go through them because this is not about me, but I'm saying this because although, okay, so the last portal that I went through, I say now in retrospect that it felt like a tribulation when it was only just a transition. Now that I look back at it, and you go through these transitions kicking and screaming. And then you come out of the other end and you're like, oh, I'm I'm okay. I'm okay. Um, you know, it didn't kill me. And you come out the other end stronger. So what does that have to do with this portal? For someone who's gone through many portals, at least three that I recognize in my own heart. Maybe I've gone through smaller ones that I haven't recognized, but three major ones. I can tell the difference between this one and the other ones. And while I can say this one isn't quite as emotionally upsetting as the last one, in a way that I can't explain, guys, it feels more significant and stronger. Like I can feel and almost touch and see the mechanism of the portal. Um, and this isn't just my portal, right? Because here I am talking about my own experience when this is your reading. But it's important because I can describe to you what we are going through, and I'm trying to get everyone on board in really observing what's happening to them in the moment. Because as we you know, you're going to be able to look back at this, like I said, in retrospect and be like, oh, I see that was a portal. It was just a transition, blah, blah, blah. But it's a different thing while you're moving through it to be cognizant of it, of everything that's happening around you instead of, focusing on the tower part of it. Um, whoops, I have the deck upside down. And also the reason why I paused is because I know Capricorn has been through a whole lot in the past 20 years. And I have talked about this a million times. And I feel the energy of the viewer like, oh, I'm so tired of this. And I'm so tired of hearing the pep talk from Grasshopper and maybe from other readers too, how they're like, you know, keep your wits about you and be strong and suck it up, buttercup, and everything's improving, don't worry. And the collective Capricorn collective is like, I'm exhausted already and I'm sucking it up, but I don't see anything improving for me. And it breaks my heart to get that energetic feedback from you guys because I know what it's like to feel like you don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. But here is spirit starting out of the gate, reminding you right away that you are going through this portal. And this is a week that's going to be important for you. That you should keep this world card in mind all week. Yeah. You see what I'm talking about? Here's the Ten of Wands. What did I say about being tired? Reversed? No. Okay? Just tired. You've been through it all. You've done all the work, and it's just overwhelming, and you can't see what's ahead of you. Okay. You see? Page of Pentacles. I can't tell you how important this is. This is exactly what I'm talking about. How Spirit is talking about you're going through a portal. Spirit is like, I know this is kind of like a rubbing of the back from Spirit. Like, we know it's hard. We know the way you feel, and we are acknowledging this. But you are going to see that light at the end of the tunnel. And I can't tell you what that's going to be. But there's going to be some kind of something that's going to give you a spark of optimism. That's sorely needed for us because Saturn will leave us for long periods of time and torture without any glimmer of hope at all. So, and our faith tank is running on fumes. Trust me when I get that. When I say I get that. Like this? Yeah. Yeah, man. Yes. Reversed? Okay. Three of Wands. And very important, the next card after the Page of Pentacles, right? The pages are about beginnings, right? And the page has received the pentacle from the universe. This is the same pentacle in the Ace of Pentacles with that hand that comes out of the cloud. He has received the pentacle and now he's really observing it like, wow, look at this. Look at this blessing that I've received from the universe. What am I going to do with this? What am I, wonderful things am I going to create with this pentacle? The Three of Wands is you allowing yourself to look off in the distance and imagine your future and really believe in it. Okay? Here is the Seven of Cups. That is about your opportunities and how the universe is going to rain down opportunities on you. Um, and there's going to need to be some discernment. The Seven of Cups always, almost always, carries that caveat like, look at all these opportunities, but look closely and really examine them because you're going to need to choose one or two of them. You can't have all of them because you're not going to be able to juggle all of these things because it's going to take wands to manage these wands as an effort. So you're going to have to prioritize these cups. The Ace of Swords, clarity. This is discernment in dealing with the Seven of Cups. And this is very good energy, the Page of Pentacles with the Ace of Swords. This is a very powerful beginning here of opportunity and clarity that comes with it. Queen of Pentacles. Remember what I said about the portal. Then what I said about the Three of Wands, that allowing yourself to envision and visualize your future. And what are you visualizing? Financial stability, material stability. Mm, Well, this is just about the best reading that we've had all year, I dare say here. The Ten of Cups, emotional fulfillment. Under the Seven of Cups. In this raining down of opportunities lies many blessings. The Empress reversed? Of course not. Okay. The Empress is full of enthusiasm and creativity. She is fruitful. And that fruitfulness comes from a spark inside of her that's filled with faith and optimism, right? And I just thought about a friend of mine who was having a hard time conceiving. All she wanted was to have a child. Um, but, she had some problems in her marriage. And anyway, she had conceived and lost the baby. And I was with her on the bathroom floor with her crying. And I gave her the whole story and she just cried through the whole thing. How much she really absorbed in that moment, I can't tell you, but I knew for certain. And I also, I'm sorry, I keep interrupting myself. I forgot to mention that this was one of many miscarriages that she had. And she had doubted that she was ever going to have a kid. And I knew for certain that she would one day. But I knew that it wasn't the right time. And I told her one day when her and her husband were got right with each other and they were both happy, it would be effortless for them to have a kid. About it was a long time. It was a good 8 years later, and a lot of turmoil that they went through. They had gotten themselves together. They stopped cheating on each other. Um, and they remarried. They renewed their vows that they were in love again. And they started to try again, and they did conceive and did have a child. As soon as I took this card out, I thought of this, right? That we're best able to manifest things when we are right in our hearts. And this is the spark of that. After we've been through what we've been through, and we have been processing the byproduct of it all, right? The trauma, the self-doubt, the self-limiting beliefs, the pessimism, especially our innate pessimism as Capricorns. That's just what we do. But that just sparks, all the negativity, right? But it's taken us all this time to process it. And here we are finally getting help from the universe, but also I don't want to give it all up to the universe because there's a whole lot of work that we've done within us to meet the universe halfway. And that's what this is, the meeting of the universe halfway. Um, as difficult as things have been, and as long as we have suffered, there's still, and as much as our natural pessimism just kind of blankets over everything, there is still that living spark within us, that desire that drives the Capricorn forward, which is why they call us the climbers, right? No matter what happens and no matter how difficult the climb is, we keep climbing because we know, we understand somewhere within us that there is something for us at the top of that cliff that we're climbing. And, I kind of sound like, oh, I'm uh, grasshoppers being dramatic. Maybe it sounds dramatic, but, it's pretty dramatic to be on a climbing a sheer cliff, you know? We've been through it. We've been through drama. I'm describing drama. I know I've had the drama, and I didn't ask for it. The Six of Cups. This describes so well that spark that I was talking about inside of us. The Six of Cups is nicknamed the nostalgia card. Okay. And a lot of the time it carries that warning like, oh, keep your get your head out of the clouds and don't be so naive and nostalgia gets you nowhere. But other times it can talk about a blessing, but it can also talk about fond wish that you've carried within you for a long time since childhood. And this is dusting that dream off that you've kept, you know, deep in a closet somewhere. That spirit is saying you can dust off that dream now and bring it forth because we're ready to deliver it to you. Now, can I promise that it's going to be delivered in this week? No, of course not. I don't know when it's going to be delivered. I hope so. But what this feels like it's talking about is a change in our perspective. And again, does this mean that we're going to be filled with hope and faith and, nothing is going to discourage us again? Of course not, because we're children of Saturn and Saturn is always going to, as we're climbing that cliff, Saturn is like dropping boulders at us, you know, but it's fine. In this week, our faith is going to be strengthened, is what this is saying. Our faith tank that I was talking about before is going to be filled for the last leg of this journey through the portal. I just, on a whim, decided to ask Spirit, and I don't hold Spirit to these things, but I asked, what percentage are we through this portal? And I got 85% because that it prompted me to ask that after I said the last leg of the journey. I was like, okay, it feels like the last leg, but what exactly is the last leg? What's the percentage? So the percentage is 85%. I would definitely agree that would be, you could call that the last leg. Ace of Cups, we'll see if that's reversed in a moment. Okay. Well, fabulous. Okay. All right, I'm going to try not to cry here. Reversed. Of course not. Okay. So, the Ace of Cups between the World and the Ten of Wands, right? We're going to ignore these two for now and just focus on this right now. Going through a portal and being tired and fatigued. This is the universe. Again, right. Because I said when I pulled this card out that this was a rubbing of the back from the universe. Like, I know, Capricorn, I know it's tough. We're sorry you have to go through this, but You've got this. You're okay. That's what this is. This is love from the universe, which is why I want to cry because I'm tired too, guys. I'm tired. So when you're going through things and you get reassurance that you're loved and supported, it's like a little bit of that burden is taken off of you and makes you feel emotional, you know? And I feel that from the collective too. Like, oh, it's just we're tired. Page of Cups, reversed? No. Page of Cups. This is us receiving. That's another reason why I was crying. This is us receiving that love, us really acknowledging that love and feeling that love. It makes the burden a tiny bit better in the moment. Look at this. The Ten of Cups. And look at the position it came out into. This is double down Ten of Cups. And look at this diagonal line here. You have the Three of Wands. This is you, like I said, allowing yourself to visualize the future and then spirit painting the picture for you. Talking about what is promised to you, right? And this is again comes out repeating, we promise. We promise. Emotional fulfillment is coming. Two of Wands. My jumpers always want to come out reverse. No matter what I do, they come out reverse. I can straighten out the deck. They'll still come out reverse. Yeah, there's the fatigue. Wait, both of these are ours? Yes, okay. And the Three of Wands. Okay. Oh, Two of Wands reversed? No. Okay. Seven of Pentacles is mirroring that fatigue here. This is like, when is this ever going to pay off? Three of Wands, double down here, is about spirit saying, believe it and allow yourself to see it because it's true. This is, can I believe it? Yes, you can. Two of Wands is about a choice to move forward, right? And it's very interesting too. All of this whole reading is like mind blowing. That it's placed here connected to the Empress, okay? Which is about that choice that I was talking about with my friend who was trying to conceive. She made a choice to move on and improve her life and find her happiness, or really find her faith is the more important word, which will lead you towards that light that's hard for us to see at the end of the tunnel. But we have to choose to see that light. Okay? Do we have advice cards? No. Okay. Cappies, I haven't been hearing from you guys lately. Tell me how you feel about this spectacular reading. How does it resonate? Let's talk. I miss you guys. I love engaging with my viewers, especially my cappies. I answer every single comment. I love my community. Okay. So can't wait to see you there. Um, don't forget to like and subscribe, please. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. It doesn't cost you anything, and it's a really quick gesture that means the world to me. So I thank you in advance. Don't forget to click the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my future videos. Okay? I will speak to you guys soon. Love, light, and many blessings.